Hello, and welcome to this week's version of ARCA's Tech Talk. My name is Kevin Kramers, the ARCA Technical Officer, and I hope you join me in this bi-weekly Tech Talk where I spend 10 to 15 minutes talking about brief topics that everybody in the roofing community, consulting community, and architects community are wondering. This week, we are going to be talking about the differences between membrane replacement, system replacement, and recovering. It's a question we often get. What is the difference between the three things? So I'm going to cover each one independently. Membrane replacement, or more commonly known as skinning, is when you have an existing roof assembly. There are no issues with the roof, i.e. there's no leaks or any anomalies with the roof, and it is more economical, and some might say a better environmental decision, to just remove the membrane and put a new membrane on top. A couple things with the ARCA roofing application standards. You can never put a new membrane directly on top of an old membrane without properly preparing it. So when they remove the membrane and remove, sometimes the cover board comes with it, our standards require a new cover board be installed over the existing insulation. Any of that existing insulation that is wet or damaged needs to be removed and replaced with like insulation, same thickness, same type, so ensure the R value is the same. And then a new membrane is put on top. This can be completed for both the 2-ply modified bituminous membranes or single-ply membranes. Skinning is often considered when cost is a factor and the insulation value does not need to change. That is usually a decision by the owner made in consultation with the roofing consultant or the roofing inspector. When skinning, you can obtain a 5 or a 10-year ARCA warranty with that replacement. The second type of re-roofing would be considered the system replacement. System replacements can happen for a variety of reasons. Maybe you want to change the type of the roof membrane, going from a protected membrane to a conventionally insulated membrane. Maybe you want to increase the R value of your existing roofing membrane, or sometimes the membrane and assembly can be damaged. You get often leaks. The leaks haven't been found originally, so they have led to wet product within the roofing assembly. So the best decision is to replace the entire roof assembly. The roof assembly has to be removed all the way down to the structural deck. Sometimes the vapor retarder can be removed easily, and if that happens, then a new vapor retarder is put in place. Or sometimes the vapor retarder is still in good condition and it can be reused. If the vapor retarder can be reused, we want to ensure that the structural deck has not been compromised. If it is wood, we want to make sure there is no rot going under it from any type of water infiltration. But for steel decks and for concrete decks, especially with concrete decks, it can be very hard to take off that existing vapor retarder. Then you can apply the entire new roof assembly on top of that, being your insulation, cover board, and then membrane. All of those systems would be from ARCA accepted materials, and you can obtain either a 5, 10, or a 15-year ARCA warranty when replacing the entire system. The last type of re-roofing that is out there is relatively new. It is the recovering, and it only applies to modified bituminous 2-ply roofing membranes. From an ARCA's perspective, you can obtain a warranty when you recover a roof that is already under an existing 5 or 10-year ARCA warranty. You would be torching down a new cap sheet along the whole field of the roof once it is properly repaired. Now, why would you want to go to a recover? There are three main components when you want to recover. It can either be due to granule loss, it can due to trade damage, or it can be for weather damage, such as hail. That's why we implemented the recovering technique. So that way you have an existing two-ply membrane, that there are anomalies or damages on the membrane itself. You can put the new cap sheet on top and then extend your warranty another 5 years. So you can get a 5-year ARCA warranty certificate on recovering. Recovering is covered under section NB12 in the ARCA roofing application standards, and it goes through what is required when you do want to recover. Some of the items you want to degranulate around the field, around any penetrations, around any drains, prime the field, and then you can torch down a new cap sheet. There are some other aspects about it, such as doing a thermographic scan, and if there are any wet areas, making sure that those wet areas are remediated. The previous two types of re-roofing that I talked about, either membrane replacement or system replacement, are covered in MB10, which is re-roofing and all of the different standards. There are a couple different standards when it comes to re-roofing, but most of the ARCA roofing application standards continue regardless if it is a new roof or a re-roof. The one that we get asked questions a lot on re-roofing is about slope. So if there is no existing slope, or if the existing slope is less than 1%, if in a re-roofing situation, that slope can remain. So we don't want to introduce slope unless it has been properly engineered. Introducing a slope can have changes to the weight distribution on the roof, which can in turn affect the structure, and it can also affect the whole mechanical plumbing system. So the hydrostatic pressure of the water going into the drains is different than originally designed. This can cause problems down the road. Well, we just got a question on text. And the one question was, who decides when I can put a reskin or a membrane replacement or a re-roof? As I mentioned, that's usually a discussion that you have with the designer of record or the designer, the roof consultant, as to what would best serve your needs. Like I mentioned, if you want more insulation, you would probably opt to go with a system replacement or different type of membrane or different type of insulation. If you're looking at remaining the status quo and your roof is serving you well, there hasn't been a lot of leaks, a skin might just be your best option. And then you can still obtain, another 20 plus years of service out of that existing assembly just by putting a new membrane on it. A lot of the things with the ARCA program and with the ARCA roofing application standards can be confusing to people. So another question that just popped into text is, how can I get some more information? There are two ways that you can get information. One is by directly calling us. Any technical questions you have that you can't find on the website or you need help with finding on the website, please feel free to give us a call at 403-250-7055. Or if it is a technical question, feel free to email me directly at technical@arcaonline.ca. If you would think you would benefit from a lunch and learn, we also offer those as well. So we'll come to you, provide a brief overview of the ARCA, answer any questions you have, and all with the intent to build that relationship so you can reach out at any time, get your questions answered, and we want to make sure that you get the right product available and the right product for yourself. Well, one of the intents of these quick tech talks is to keep them short and sweet. So I hope that this week's version of Tech Talk has been educational and informative. If you have any additional ideas for Tech Talks, please email us at info@arcaonline.ca. And look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time. Have a great day, everybody.